Spider-Man.
Look, next time, leave the fighting to the pros.
Okay, but what if there aren't any around?
Good one.
It nearly brings a tear to my eye. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very exciting Spider-Man PS4 related video. So amongst all the crazy Spider-Man news lately, mainly regarding Spider-Man just recently being pulled out of the MCU, as well as Sony just buying Insomniac Games as the 14th company to be added within their first-party worldwide studios lineup, we also got a leak from Amazon UK's website describing a possible Game of the Year edition for Spider-Man PS4 to release on September 4th. And lucky enough for us, it turns out that Amazon UK post was actually half correct. Not only is it officially confirmed by everyone at Insomniac, Marvel, and PlayStation that a Game of the Year edition for Spider-Man PS4 actually exists, but even better, it's also available right now. Now you may be asking yourself, why is it that Spider-Man PS4 is actually receiving a Game of the Year edition if it didn't actually win Game of the Year during last year's Game Awards? And essentially, if a game is received extremely well from both critics and fans alike, as well as sells incredible numbers, it definitely is most likely going to receive a Game of the Year edition, which will have all the content added post-launch. So even though at face value some people are a bit disappointed that the Game of the Year edition doesn't come with any new content, there is actually an article posted by Insomniac's community director of James Stevenson, which does dive into some really interesting topics. And if you do manage to go and visit PlayStation Blog's website, there is an article describing this entire situation titled Marvel's Spider-Man Game of the Year edition available today. Swing into the action with the complete Marvel Spider-Man package. And coming from James Stevenson himself, he states, "We feel privileged to be repeating the same thing over and over again. Thank you for all your amazing support of Insomniac Games and Marvel's Spider-Man since the web slinger landed on the PlayStation 4 system. We're a little over a week away from the game's 1-year anniversary on September 7th. We'll be looking back at 2018 over the next few weeks, but we wanted to kick off the anniversary celebration with a loud thwip." So out of everything featured within this article, this is definitely the most intriguing point. As we all know, Spider-Man PS4 officially launched worldwide on September 7th, 2018, which means that its 1-year anniversary is almost over a week away. So knowing that this Game of the Year edition is only just the beginning of Insomniac's celebration for the game's 1-year anniversary, I definitely feel like there's going to be something in store for all the players on the actual day of September 7th, 2019. Seeing how God of War also had a really awesome 1-year anniversary celebration back in April of this year with some brand new avatars and a very cool dynamic theme, I could see something similar happening for Spider-Man PS4 during next month. But of course, the biggest question that people are asking is whether or not we're going to be receiving any more free suits for the game during the 1-year anniversary. And mainly as an example, some people have been bringing up the Amazing Spider-Man movie suits given the recent deal that Sony and Disney had with pulling Spider-Man out of the MCU, or possibly some more original suits like that of the Sensational suit or even Spider-Cop. And while I can't 100% guarantee that we will be receiving some new costumes during the anniversary celebration, I can only cross my fingers and hope for the best. Although, I can definitely say for sure that if Insomniac decided to do that, it's gonna make a lot of people happy. But moving on with the article itself, it states, "It seems crazy that just about a year ago, people hadn't yet had a chance to swing around Marvel's New York. We'll always remember the first E3 in 2016, when our teaser trailer surprised fans that we had teamed up with Sony Interactive Entertainment and Marvel Games to put our own spin on one of the most famous fictional characters of all time. From working to nail web swinging and acrobatic Spidey combat, to imagining a brand new Spider-Man universe and storyline, and getting to build our own version of Marvel's New York, it's been a wild ride for all of us here. With that, we're pleased to introduce the Marvel Spider-Man Game of the Year edition. We remain deeply humbled by the incredible critical response to the game last year and during awards season. And for me personally, seeing that Spider-Man PS4 is still being thoroughly praised by everyone playing it, as well as Insomniac, Marvel, and PlayStation getting a huge round of applause, is just a wonderful thing to see play out. This game absolutely knocked it out of the park relating to everything regarding Spider-Man, mainly involving the storyline, combat, graphics, and a whole lot more. So seeing that it is actually getting an official Game of the Year edition is just flat out awesome. But as for the details relating to the Game of the Year edition itself, it states, you might be asking, what's in the Game of the Year edition? You'll find the full game as well as a voucher for the entire Marvel Spider-Man The City That Never Sleeps DLC, a 3-chapter narrative to the game that tells its own spectacular post-game story. We've been blown away by your response response to Marvel's Spider-Man: The City That Never Sleeps, and we're excited the Game of the Year edition will expose it to even more players. It's a great value as you get the full game and all 3 story chapters of Marvel's Spider-Man: The City That Never Sleeps for just $39.99 USD MSRP. You can buy it today at PlayStation Store or at your favorite local gaming retailer. Already have the base game? You can still get Marvel's Spider-Man: The City That Never Sleeps on PlayStation Store for just $24.99 USD MSRP. So even though the Game of the Year edition is only just the base game with all the entirety of the CTNS pack, it's really cool to see how it's actually at a lower price compared to that of the entire package. Back during the main launch in September, the game was obviously sold at a normal price for a total of $60, but the entirety of the City That Never Sleeps pack was sold actually individually for each chapter at a price of $10. So knowing that at one point the full game was being sold at a full price at around near $90, it's really great to see that the Game of the Year edition is actually sold at a more lower price. So for those of you out there who somehow haven't managed to actually play the entirety of Spider-Man PS4 yet, this is definitely the main edition that you should pick up. And to finalize the article, James Stevenson states, "We're honored to mark the 1-year anniversary of the game with this new Game of the Year edition. We hope that some of you who maybe haven't had the chance to experience Marvel's Spider-Man can now swing into all the amazing Spidey action with the complete package." So even though some people are a bit agitated that the Game of the Year edition isn't equipped with any new content, I do think it's great to see the entirety of the game's bundle in one cohesive package. And just like James Stevenson said during this article, this is only the beginning of Insomniac's celebration for the game's 1-year anniversary, so I definitely think there's going to be something in store on the actual day of the anniversary on September 7th. But whether or not that turns out to be some brand new avatars, themes, or possibly even some new suits, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But until that time comes, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about Spider-Man PS4's Game of the Year edition, and what do you think we're actually going to be receiving on the official day of Spider-Man PS4's anniversary on September 7th? Besides potentially receiving some brand new avatars, themes, and possible suits for the game on the actual anniversary, I really do hope that we actually get some sort of a documentary about everyone who worked on it in its entirety. If you do recall, Sony Santa Monica actually had a very awesome documentary for God of War called Raising Kratos, where they did celebrate the entirety of the game's 1-year anniversary with an in-depth look as to how the game was made. And even though we did end up receiving some really great behind-the-scenes featurettes for Spider-Man PS4 before it actually released back in 2018, I would like to see a fully fledged documentary of how it was developed in its entirety. And even though I don't know what Insomniac's plans are for the upcoming weeks, I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping for the absolute best. And until that time comes, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and peace out.
Hands up!